John, I have a story for you.
Oh, okay.
And it for once in our lives, it's actually Dragon Ball Z related.
Holy shit. Are you serious?
Yeah. So I started playing this mobile game called Dragon Ball Legends.
Oh, you poor son of a bitch.
I have a lot to say about it. The first being that if you are playing, please let us know, because you could join my guild and we can hang out together in the Eric Hates Dragon Ball Z guild, which doesn't exist yet, but I'll get to that in a second.
They have guilds now?
They have this game is so dense. There's so much content. I was kind of overwhelmed. I'm in a constant state of overwhelming because you don't unlock everything at the get-go. You got to go through the story, which in itself is really interesting because they actually created a way that makes sense for you to be able to collect these various versions of the same character over and over again.
Yeah.
Basically, you just create an army of Dragon Ball characters and then train them up and then send them out on missions. And then you get rewards that helps you upgrade your people. It's just an endless cycle. But the gameplay loop is really solid. Everything about this game is addicting. Designed to tap into that slot machine, just one more X. If you're the kind of person that is susceptible to spending money on things, I wouldn't even go anywhere near this game because the microtransactions are insanely unfair. But at the same time, if you have resistance that you can kind of separate yourself from the feelings of amazement and excitement that come from, drawing a bunch of new characters, it's pretty fair with rewarding you for just playing the game for free. I've spent a total of $4 on it, and that's it.
Wow. That restraint, though.
But that's the kind of person I am. If a game is hey, spend money on us, and I'm if I can't go any further without spending money, I just uninstall it. I'm not that kind of person, but this game almost brought it out of me.
Wow.
The slot machine mechanics of summoning characters and the shiny and the sounds and the sights and all the sparkling fireworks that happen when you get new characters. Everything is designed to feed into giving them money, right? Leveling up your characters is done by summoning in quotes, the same character multiple times. So there's even I remember at some point I was disappointed when I got new people added to my roster because it meant that I couldn't upgrade a person that I already had. They make me want duplicates, which is insane. And then there's 50 million currencies and you need this many of one to feed into another. And then this character only takes these currencies to level up. Everything is shrouded. It takes so many steps from giving them money to doing what you want with it that you can't see how much you're actually spending on what they value. But it's insane. It's not good. If you're going to spend real money on this game, I wouldn't recommend it at all. But the story's actually really interesting. Basically, time broke and there's just endless versions of every character running around in various states of good and or evil from various points in the Dragon Ball Z saga. So you'll get Saiyan Saga, Goku, and then current Goku from Dragon Ball Super, Yamcha from the Frieza saga. Everybody is there and everybody's constantly participating in fights and stuff. It's actually kind of clever. Anyway, so I joined a guild because you have missions. It's this huge long list of endless missions where you can get rewards, which is great. Rewards are good. Doing simple things without giving them money is good. And I was in it for maybe 3 days to a week. Just the worst player of all time. I'm not good at the game, clicking and this is cool. Look at them fire their key blasts. And then one day I log in and I get a little bloop, a little alert that says that now I'm the guild master of a guild with 30 people in it.
Congratulations, upgraded.
So I don't know what I did. I honestly, I looked through the guild settings and you can see everybody in your guild and you can click on them. And then when you click on them, you can kick them out of the group or there's a button right next to it that says transfer all power to this person.
What? Okay.
So I'm wondering if the person that was in charge before me accidentally pushed that button and they were going to kick me out for some reason. Because now I am the guild master of this stupid little clan that I had no intention of staying in and just did it for the rewards.
So you have a problem. You have to figure out what to do now as the clan leader.
Yeah. I guess I can't leave. I want to because I can do anything, right? I can rename it. I can change the goals. I can kick everybody out. I can do anything.
Oh my God.
I can change the entrance requirements. I've been given an untold amount of power in a game that I know basically nothing about.
So it's like you're the emperor of a kingdom, right? And you're about to bestow the crown and scepter upon your next in line. and some random fucko who's like a dung shoveler just kind of shows up, and you trip, and the crown and scepter go into the dung shoveler's hands. Now he's like, what?
And by law, by ancient script, that's all that's it. Whoever holds the crown has the power, so it's done. That's exactly what happened. So if anybody out there listening to this podcast actually plays Dragon Ball Legends, let me know. Send us a mail at mail@ehdbz.com, because I gotta get some people that I know in the guild that I run now. All in all, it's a pretty good game. Honestly, like it has a surprising amount of content for a free-to-play mobile game. Just like if you have any addictive gambling tendencies, I would not recommend it, because it taps into those better than any mobile game that I've ever played.
Yeah, I played it when it first came out, day 2 or whatever, and it grabbed me immediately. Because of all of those reasons, because I am that kind of person where I have an addictive personality. And every single time they had a special event, you can get the extra shiny version of Goku. You can get the extra money, just money that I did not have went into this game. I've spent this was what, 2018 maybe when it came
it's
out?
Been around for about 4 years now, I think. So yeah.
And so I just dumped hard. Every second of free time that I had was me on my phone fucking playing this game. And it was not good. It was not good. My account has all of the whatever SP beginning characters, like from the first set of events all the way up to the Broly movie one. But that's the magic of a gacha game. That's what these games are called. They have it down to a science where it is you put little tokens in the machine and hope you get something special. But while that machine is deciding, it's already decided, PS, whether or not you're going to get something special, it shoots every light and shiny sparkle right into your eyes. Wow, woo. And then when you finally get that thing that you want, that hit of dopamine, oh my God, makes heroin
It's really
jealous.
good.
It's so good.
Really good.
Yeah.
Like I was amazed. The first 2 weeks of having this app, they throw all the rewards at you for nothing.
Yeah.
You don't even understand what's going on. And you're just like, I get all this stuff. That is so great. Just keep it rolling. Mm-hmm. If you don't know what you're doing with the game, it starts to peter out and you don't get nearly as much. You got to be more careful about how you handle everything.
They do everything to keep you in. Not only just the shiny sparkles and the gacha elements, they have the Farmville timed things in there.
Yep.
Where you have to wait X amount of hours and it'll send you notifications, push notifications to your phone, letting you know, hey, Piccolo is now level 600. Go ahead and feed him a red radish and he can become level 601 and up. And you're like, oh, I better do that in the middle of my workday. And it just interrupts everything that you have going on. And they're really smart about it. But wow, is it sneaky. So anyway, my phone died that I had before. I had to get a new phone. I chose to buy maybe the shittiest graphic processing phone possible, so I could not play this game.
Wow, man.
I do want to say good on you for only spending $4, because I feel like that is such a strangely specific, weird amount of dollars to have spent on a gacha game. I feel like no one else in history has spent $4 American dollars. Usually it's zero or it's whatever, hundreds or thousands, but four. Did you do $1 4 times, or was it just one payment of $4?
It was all at once. They do this really clever thing now where like you have a chunk of missions you can do and you can get the currency that lets you summon more characters. And that's the best thing in the game. So I want that. But they'll give you even more if you buy like, the premium pass. And the premium pass, they also have a subscription thing, which I don't see the value in. That's like $5 a month.
Oh my God. Just everything, battle passes, loot boxes,
everything.
Gotcha, the timed elements, the splashies. But
so I got to the point of the game where it was like, hey, you can choose your own path and get the missions that you want to get.
Yeah.
But if you buy the premium thing, which is normally $8, we'll cut that in half for your first time and you can get even more. And I was like, well, sure. But everything else, like if you go to the store and you want to buy the currency that lets you summon people, it's ridiculous. It's so unreasonable. Like they don't even try.
Yeah.
At least as some of the other gacha games that I've played, and I haven't spent money on like really any of them, their store value was good. And then if they had a sale, it was actually like affordable. And this game is not that at all. You have to spend like $40 for something that takes you, I don't know, maybe a week to grind out. Like it's not worth it.
Yeah. You can either pay into this mobile game, which at this point, a lot of mobile games are built up enough to just be called games, I think.
Yeah, despite the microtransaction shit that I hate. There are some with content that's just, they're not available on any other platform but your phone. And they have enough content to be justified as calling like just a video game.
Yeah, but I'm glad that our intro was at least Dragon Ball related for the first fucking time in the history of this podcast called Eric Hates Dragon Ball Z.
It's a decent game. I'm getting into mobile games.
Congrats.
Do you want to do it last time?
Well, the first thing we have to do is big shout out to Spencer Feuerstein for hitting our $50 tier on our Patreon. We sincerely appreciate that you're taking the time to support us, and I feel like the last couple shout outs have not been the best. Sincerely, we appreciate that you're taking the time to sponsor this podcast, because that's what this is. You're sponsoring our episodes. This episode is sponsored by Spencer Feuerstein. If you were a product, I would say how great you are, which you're a person, so you're still great. How about that?
He can't respond, obviously, but that's fantastic.
You can talk to us on our Discord, which you can also go to our Discord. Whatever. That's at the end of the episode. All right, let's do it last time. Holy shit. Last time on Eric Hates Dragon Ball Z. It was the end of the Cell games, and it was fine. I think it was fine. It was pretty all right. Gohan defeated Cell. Who could have guessed? Goku is dead in Otherworld. Except he's not really dead. He's the Ghost Goku. Ghost Goo in Otherworld. And now we're here this time on Eric Hates Dragon Ball Z.
Welcome to Eric Hates Dragon Ball Z. I'm Spencer.
And I'm John.
And this episode, we'll be going over episodes 195 to 199 of Dragon Ball Z. Starting with episode 195, the Japanese title is A Deep Impression. There they are. The next world's awesome dudes. The first time I'm reading that, it's an amazing title. Yeah, A Deep Impression. There they are, the world's next awesome dudes. The American title is Warriors of the Dead.
I know very often we like the American titles better. I do think sometimes they just kill it with their titles. This is a good title I think they killed it with.
I totally agree. The original, like, it fits the vibe of these episodes.
Yeah, my episode title is the one where all of my Cell in Hell jokes become real.
Okay, this was the arc where I was like going into it. I told John, this is the one where we can just mess around and do whatever we want because none of this matters and it's really dumb. I watched these episodes again over the course of this week and I actually really liked them.
I think
this is a fun arc.
This is,
especially after what came before, this is a really good palate cleanser.
Yes, that's what it is.
And also a necessary 5-episode distraction for what comes next. Like it everything about this makes sense and it's really fun.
Yes.
And it doesn't matter, but that's okay because the characters in the podcast, in the show know it doesn't matter. Like everything about it is really well done. And I'm pretty sure this is a filler arc. You know, something that didn't exist in the anime, but like I don't care. It was enjoyable to watch.
Yes. This was what all Dragon Ball Z movies wish they were. I noticed throughout they didn't have the full budget that they should. The art is not amazing. The animation is really choppy. But I knew that it was a filler arc, so I was able to totally forgive that because it is so incredibly well paced. The stakes don't exist, but are also existent. And it's just a character story. It's just Goku in hell meeting a bunch of other fighters from the past. And then a tournament happens. And that's it. It's just a fun little Goku arc.
So we start off with King Kai, Bubbles, Gregory, etc. On Snake Road. And Goku's very excited because of something that happened in the previously on, not actually something that happened.
So confusing.
In the episode. I don't know. It's like they finished the last episode and they were like, shit, what? Okay, well, what are they going to do in Otherworld? And then they figured it out, but they were like, they have to already know about it. So they're going to go meet. I can't remember what King Kai calls him.
The Master of Otherworld.
Thank you. Yeah. And Goku's really excited. So he acts as a treadmill for King Kai and just pushes him along really quick. And King Kai's not having any.
I'm not much of a runner. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
Goku's very excited. He says, "Man, I really want to meet this guy." And King Kai like slaps him. He's like, "He's not a guy. Don't call him Guy. He's Grand Kai.
Mm-hmm.
He's the most important person ever until the next saga of Dragon Ball Z."
Oh my God. Which we have to move past that because I was confused so many times writing down Grand Kai, and I keep thinking, okay, so is Grand is below. Who knows? Who knows how it works?
Who knows?
But
I don't know.
Goku does the one cool trick that Kais hate and calls another Kai Guy. And King Kai just vomits how much he despises Goku for this. And then defines more of the Dragon Ball Z world, which I think this is canon. I think. I don't actually know.
It's gotta be canon adjacent at least, because like Kais play a bigger part in the future sagas, because like once you get past the world ending threat, the solar system ending threat, you got to keep going up. And eventually we get to like the universe ending threat, right? So they bring in other players from outside of Earth, and you kind of get a bigger sense of what the world is. I don't think they specifically mention anything in these 5 episodes ever again, but it doesn't exactly take away from what's brought in later. So it's okay. Like, it can work.
Yeah, it can work. That's a great way to put it. It can work, which is all we could ask for with Dragon Ball Z at this point. I listened to, I do a lot of driving at my job. And so I listened to a series of our first episodes just for fun. I was like, let's listen to what we were. Oh, and we're very different now than we were then. We're much more seasoned.
We've grown.
We're weathered. And all of the absurdity of the show, we just have come to accept that is the nature of Dragon Ball Z. In the beginning, every little thing we were like, why are there badgers and deer and birds in the same ecosystem? That doesn't make sense.
It's weird because I don't feel like it's beaten us down. I feel like it's welcomed us with open arms.
Yeah.
We're sort of part of the family now. Mm-hmm. And so we just jive with the weirdness.
That's a really good way to put it. I guess saying weathered, it makes it seem like hardened or something negative, maybe, that we've gotten annihilated by this. We're getting sandblasted by the absurdity.
No, I'm just into it now.
But yeah, I'm rolling with the punches. I'm going on every curve that Snake Way throws me for because you can't. You can't try and look off the edge and stare into hell. It won't make any sense. So, okay. To go to this plane of existence where they're going to meet this Grand Kai, they need to take a plane. So they need to run across Snake Way. And there's this really funny gag where Goku runs out. And I'm serious, it's pretty funny.
Oh
Goku
my God.
Runs out.
It's really funny, actually.
Runs backwards. They just play the same footage backwards. And he runs all the way back to where King Kai is. He's like, oh, I forgot. I don't know where I'm going.
He's so excited. He keeps coming back to King Kai to ask for clarification on stuff. And every time he passes by Bubbles and Gregory, the monkey and the cricket, and he's just like, hey guys. Yeah. And then when he walks backwards, he's like, bye guys. Whatever, vice versa. But it's actually it happens funny. Like 4 times, and it's legitimately funny. I got a kick out of it.
And it sets the tone for the entire set of these episodes. So they get to the whatever it is,
it's like the grand terminal, like the main entrance to Otherworld. Mm-hmm. And it's right next to an airport, apparently. And we get to see King Yemma again, which is crazy because it's the first time that I think that we've seen King Yemma since like the first season. Like, it's been a long time. Oh, and I do want to say, when we got this gag with Goku running back and forth on Snake Way until he remembers he can use instant transmission. That's how they get to there, which is just the cherry on top of this ice cream sundae joke.
Yeah.
Anyway, every time he runs off and comes back, they've got this really corny banjo music playing in the American version, which just fits. It's great. Everything about this is great.
The music is fantastic throughout all 5 of these episodes too. They use a new track, which is it's one of the best.
I know the one
tracks.
You're talking
it's
about.
It's one of the best fucking tracks.
It's crazy that it doesn't make its way into DBZ proper, because they reuse a lot of music, but there's one track that is specifically for these 5 episodes, and it's great.
Yeah, we'll get there.
They get to King Yemma's desk, and they're looking for literally what's called the higher plane. It's the plane that takes you to
fucking hell,
the Grand Kai's planet. King Yemma sees Goku, sees King Kai. He sees Goku. He says, "Dead again already, huh?" Which is just a great sentence. Mm-hmm. He basically says, go this way to the plane. King Kai, Gregory, Bubbles, and Goku all walk, toward the airport. And there's this one random character demon that we'll never see again. Mm-hmm. He's just a guy. He's just like a regular demon guy. And he's so excited to meet Goku, not because he's Goku, but because he's the first soul with body. that he's ever seen.
Yeah, if you'll remember, souls are just puff clouds that speak in really high-pitched voices. Most
that
people
are treated
don't keep
like children.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it is weird to me because I don't know what Bubbles and Gregory are, but they got to keep their bodies
Holy
too.
shit, that's a great question. What the fuck are they?
All 4 of them died on King Kai's planet, right? But they didn't get teleported to the entrance with King Yemma. They were just in Otherworld, and they had their bodies. So and King Yemma was legitimately surprised to see Goku at this point, even though if he passed into Otherworld, he should have had to gone this way before. Anyway.
Yeah.
So Goku is specifically documented cause of death is rescued Earth from evil android. And King Yemma's just like, well, works for me.
Which I think is amazing. King Yemma, he can't even be bothered to worry about it. So they go onto a plane. And it's a plane.
It's a crappy junker Indiana Jones plane.
Yeah.
And also Bubbles and Gregory stay behind for some reason, but you don't see him ever again. And Goku's like, man, why do we have to take this plane? Why couldn't we have taken the cool plane? And the cool plane we see earlier with all the souls, the cloud souls jumping onto it. So apparently this junker plane is for people that got to keep their bodies, which doesn't make any sense.
It's so confusing, but I love it because it doesn't make any sense. So Goku's on the plane and they're flying through space on a plane, which is just such a unique, interesting visual. And Goku looks down and it's just an aura of Technicolor drug colors. It's this crazy, crazy visual that I really, really appreciate. And then suddenly we cut to weird chickens fighting with like baby heads. And that was really confusing. I don't know why. For some reason, that was super jarring to see 2 strange chicken creatures kicking each other. And then it cuts to a frogman. And we've seen one of these frogmen before because they are the same scaly-faced fish-type creatures that stabbed Bardock in the back of the neck and gave him the future knowledge. It's the same exact design.
I did not notice that.
Yeah.
Interesting. Something I really love about this episode, before we get into the Grand Kai's planet, is that Sean Schemmel, up until this point, the entire episode has basically been Sean Schemmel talking to himself. He has, I don't understand how he has such good chemistry with himself. Like it's really fun watching these two bicker.
He does, though. And I think I said this before. I didn't like Schemmel at the beginning of the show. He's grown on me at this point. I think Schemmel understands what he's doing. He's honed his craft at this point. And every line that goes through,
he's finally gotten John's approval,
which matters so fucking much for poor Schemmel. Like, he just couldn't get it from me.
So they arrive at King Grand Kai's planet, and you can see it. They show it to you. It is bigger than King Kai's planet.
Yeah.
But not by much.
Yeah.
It is still like walkable, you know? Like it's got like a huge temple on top and then like marble pathways that wrap around the circumference.
Yeah.
But it's totally walkable. They arrive, they get to the palace, and King Kai sees that Grand Kai has a sports car in front of his house, just like King Kai.
Mm-hmm.
And King Kai just goes ballistic on it. He's like, I love this. Why couldn't I have bought this one? This is the exact one that I wanted. And I don't know who sells these cars to these Kais. But there's a car salesman out there somewhere.
Yeah, there's some rogue demon that is making bank. And did you notice that the car has more detail in the line work and the artistry than any character does?
A really good looking car.
I wrote this down. This doesn't come true, but I wrote a prediction. That car isn't making it to the end of this.
Oh, that would have been great if they had blown up the car. Yeah. Okay, so previously, this is going to be important.
Yeah.
King Kai explained that the afterlife, the other world, is divided into 4 quadrants, northeast, southwest. Don't pay any mind to the fact that this is space and there's no magnetic pole to dictate what's north.
It's fine.
King Kai, our King Kai that we know and love, is North Kai. Above all of them is Grand Kai.
Mm-hmm.
He's a rock music loving, denim clad old guy. He's like Master Roshi if he had hair.
He's like Master Roshi in that he's got the giant white beard, which splits down into handlebars.
It's really
that come
weird,
off.
yeah.
But if Master Roshi, instead of being perverted, was radical.
Yeah, that's perfect.
That's who Grand Kai is. And the voice actor for Grand Kai is amazing because Grand Kai's entrance is he's walking towards Goku. And at this point, another Kai has appeared and has gotten into a bickering match with North Kai. I'm just going to start calling him North Kai because it's going to get confusing.
You have to in this arc. So it's West Kai. He's short. He's purple. He's shorter than King Kai. He's purple. He wears a monocle.
Yes.
West Kai has brought a fighter of his own. North Kai has Goku. West Kai has Pikkon. Pikkon looks like Piccolo if he was crossed more with like second form Cell. Like his lips are weird. His head is elongated. The clothes look really similar to Piccolo's.
They do. It's very flowy. It's very white and purple, and he is green.
And he's the ultimate fighter of the West Quadrant.
Yes.
So West Kai, the squat purple dude, makes fun of North Kai for dying because this whole time, everybody that's dead has a halo over their head. That's how you know they're dead. Everybody that doesn't, which is very few, the supernatural beings like West, East, South Kai, and Grand Kai do not have the halo. North Kai has a halo because he died, and there is no end to the fun that West Kai has for enjoying the fact that North Kai has died, which is just so mean. It's just our poor North Kai gets bullied like the entirety of these episodes.
It is mean, but also if you think about it in terms of deities or godhood and how long these beings have existed, and they've never seen another one of them die before, probably didn't even know they could. So it's embarrassing. It's like shitting the bed forever.
It's hilarious that it jumps right to I'm gonna make fun of you for it instead of like, holy shit, I didn't know we could die. Like anyway.
Yeah, like a discovery, but immediately. Yeah. But I don't know, they're gods. They have a different line of logic than we do. They think about things differently. So Rad Santa Claus guy, the Grand Kai.
He makes a grand entrance.
Amazing entrance where he's listening to rock music on a boombox. And he is scatting along with it all the way as he's walking. And it's just the best entrance. He slams the boombox down. He hits the stop button and he says, Pikkon, there's some trouble in hell. I need you to go deal with it.
This cat named Cell. He's causing problems in hell. He's got a friend called Frieza making trouble as well. You got to go down there. And so Pikkon's like, yeah, no problem. And he goes. Goku's like, wait, what? I'm important too. And so he just takes off after Pikkon, and Grand Kai and North Kai's like, hey, you didn't get ordered to do that. And Grand Kai's like, nah, it's fine. He can go if he wants. It's so cool to imagine that the best fighters of our world end up in heaven and have to control hell. I don't know why, but there's something about that that's very cool.
Yeah, it's poetic as shit. I would love to watch a series that is based off of that, and I'm sure they exist. So let us know. Mail, MAIL. Or give us a call, 385 Dare 1-Ox. Or my home address is 849. No.
So Goku and Pikkon go to hell. And they run into hell has seen better days. Let's put it that way. Once they get down there,
sure. That's a good way to put
everything's trashed. We see a couple things that are familiar. We meet Gaz and Mez again.
Oh yeah,
and they kind of like, oh no, we're so scared. Cell is causing problems. It's crazy to me that this one episode begins with Goku and King Kai on a journey and ends with him fighting Cell and Frieza again. Like it's crazy. This episode is crazy.
This episode it's so much packed into such a short amount of time, but it is paced so well that it's not a problem to consume at all.
It's really good. Gaz and Mez say like, oh, Cell and his cronies, they're wreaking havoc. You got to stop them. They turn around and are faced with Cell, Frieza, Frieza's dad,
King Cold,
and the Ginyu Force. And it didn't occur to me at first, but I realized about halfway through, Captain Ginyu's missing because Captain Ginyu's not dead.
Yeah.
He's the only survivor, and he happens to be in a frog's body on Earth. It was a cool reminder that Captain Ginyu's still out there somewhere. So Goku turns to Cell, and Cell at this point is like trampling demons, and he's not in this episode for long, spoilers, but the one chance he gets to express himself is so true to his character. He stomps on a demon and is like, is crushing his head, and he says, you will tell me how to get out of here, which is perfect. I don't know why everybody in hell gets to keep their bodies when they have the power to take them away so easily, but anyway.
Yeah, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Maybe it's a certain level of power. You would just achieve a certain level of power and then you keep it.
That makes some sort of sense.
Some sort of, I don't know.
So Goku actually like confronts Cell, and he has one of the coolest lines in the episode when he says, even in death, you refuse to learn. And everybody basically fights. This whole sequence, by the way, is basically the equivalent of the beginning of the Android saga when Trunks stepped up and killed Frieza. Like it's
That's
that
true.
again. It's the big
That is
bad
exactly
of the last
what this
one.
is.
It's introducing a new character to show how powerful they are. They instantly take out the big bad of the last saga.
Yes, that is 100% what this is. Here's a weird thing. Did you notice that Goku goes Super Saiyan, but his hair is black?
Whoa, really? No.
Yeah.
I didn't
So
at
he
all.
goes Super Saiyan and the hair changes to the shape. I think this is a well-known animation mistake where they did not change the color of Goku's hair. It is just black and it's shaped in that Super Saiyan. He's got the yellow aura, but he's got the regular color black hair. But man, do I really love that look.
I got one better for you. I don't think it's an animation mistake. That's just how going Super Saiyan in Hell works.
That's what I wanted it to be. Like, I wanted this to be a feature, not a bug, but it's 100% an animation mistake, which is upsetting. Really, what happens is Goku dispatches the Ginyus first because they're like paper in the wind.
It actually, okay, normally something like this, I would just be like, oh, come on. You're just having cannon fodder for cannon fodder's sake. But it does show how much Goku has grown because he's trained a ton since he last faced off against the Ginyu Force. So it's kind of cool to be able to see him just like snap his fingers and have them, well, they all fall into the big lake of blood that we all remember and love from the first season. I actually liked it a lot.
I like how freaked out Frieza is during this. As soon as Goku arrives, Frieza shits their pants. Oh, it's Goku! Like immediately.
Yeah, and in contrast, Cell is cool as a cucumber. Like he looks like one too, but he's,
oh my just fucking god! You know what? Let's just copy paste that line and put it at the end because I know that's not a pun, but that was the line of the episode, and I want to have that in place of a pun. Oh, that was good. So you would expect Cell to be the one to fight Goku, and Cell even steps up to go fight Goku, but as Goku is bracing for another Cell fight, Pikkon time.
And it comes out of nowhere. He just basically explodes. This whole sequence of every villain you've ever faced is now here. It's a little bit more anticlimactic than I anticipated it would be because it could have easily been an episode where everything that we talked about happens, Goku and Pikkon get sent to hell, and then the episode ends. And then the episode starts with them facing off against the villains, and the whole episode is them fighting the villains. It's not that. They fight every villain from Dragon Ball Z except for Raditz up to this point in like 3 minutes.
3 minutes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they win because Pikkon jumps in and just like snaps his fingers. Cell goes down in the drink, doesn't even think about it, and takes out King Cold and Frieza, and then does this weird like spinny tornado move that we'll see much later, but it's kind of ridiculous looking. Where he just starts spinning in midair over and over and over again until he creates a tornado.
He does the spinning, which knocks them all towards a spike because hell is just covered in weird, gigantic pincushion balls. They all head towards the spikes and they're about to slam into it. And instead of the noise or the imagery of them hitting the spikes, Jail Cell slams. It was really good. I liked it. And then it kind of zooms out and you see them there. And all of them have huge bandages over their chests.
So the doors closes on all of our famous villains. And I believe it's Rikum who gets the last word when he says, does anybody want to arm wrestle? That's basically the end of the episode. I think that DBZ Otherworld would make a really fun video game.
Oh, yeah.
Because you could set it after the show and just have, like, there's so much. You could do literally anything with Otherworld. And there's endless supply of villains that have already been defeated that you could face off against in Otherworld. Plus, like, you'd get to run Snake Way, which is as tedious as it is. It might be fun for some people. You've got the Kais, you've got Hell, you've got, like, so many things. And I'm kind of disappointed that the lore hasn't been expanded around this too often. They do it occasionally, but more often than not, it's kind of forgotten about. And I think it's a shame because I don't know. These episodes are really fun.
Well, you know what they say, be the change that you'd like to see in the world. So get cracking.
Make a Dragon Ball Z game. That's the secret. If you ever make a DBZ fan game, don't tell anybody until it's done.
That's true. Yeah.
And then launch it before you can get the C&D order.
Which will happen so fast. Toei does not fuck around with that shit. Before we move on to the next episode, I do want to say that the very last shot is Goku saying, well, I was wrong about one thing. You didn't need any help. And Pikkon smiles at Goku. They're both just standing there, just kind of staring off into the distance. And Pikkon turns and smiles at Goku and says, no, but thanks. And they just stare, smiling at each other. And I was like,
and then they're
going to make out, right? Yeah, exactly. Is that me? Is that my bad for expecting them to just start making out?
No, because I think that Pikkon is Goku's dream girl.
Thank you.
I actually like the relationship between these two a lot. I think it's very much they are dead even in power, and they both respect each other, and they're both good-natured enough not to let it go to their heads. Like, they're just good people that are equally powerful. And it's cool to see their admittedly short-lived friendship kind of grow in these episodes. That brings us to episode 196. The Japanese title is I'm the Best in the Next World. Heroes of the Ages Assembled. The American title is Tournament Begins.
My episode title is Fuck Hercule. I'm a Grand Kai girl now. I love Grand Kai. This episode was...
Kai is really good.
Oh my God.
I know exactly about this. The scene that made me like Grand Kai as much as I do is in this episode, I believe.
Yes.
And it's fantastic.
Yes. So it starts off with Goku telling King Kai about how strong Pikkon is. Like, for real, he's just the best. I love how big his muscles are and how smooth his chest is. And
he has such full lips.
King Kai's like, calm down, Goku. I don't want to hear about this shit. And they get to a building and just hundreds of fighters come out to greet Goku. Like hundreds of fighters. And Goku's like, whoa, what am I about to beat the shit out of all these people? And King Kai says, no, these are all the people from the history of the North Galaxy under my jurisdiction, all the strongest fighters.
I love so much about this, and this is part of the lore that I was talking about that I wish was expanded upon. King Kai's been around the block a few times. Like, yes, he's comic relief, and yes, he's kind of an asshole sometimes, but he legit knows how to fight, and he's trained people before Goku. Like, there were Gokus before Goku. And that's really interesting to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's fun. It is mentioned that you need to train for 10,000 years because they arrive on this planet and everybody's fighting. Like, this entire universe, the DBZ universe, not just Earth, not just the show, but like literally the structure of the universe, the foundation itself is built on fighting, and you can't get away from it. Mm-hmm. So everybody's training, everybody's fighting. And the reason they're doing that is because if you train for 10,000 years, you prove your worth, you show that you're strong, the Grand Kai himself will give you a martial arts lesson. That's like that's like the Holy Grail. That's what everybody wants. Because it's the only thing that you're allowed to desire when you're given your body in the afterworld. They talk about that for a few minutes. Then the other Kais show up. Not just, I think it was West Kai, the monocle wearing one, but the South and East Kais as well.
I feel like we need to take a sec and just say that so many characters are introduced in these 5 episodes that will never, ever matter again. I am sorry, it might get confusing, but we're introduced to like a dog man who was a hero 6,000 years ago. There's basically, he's the emperor of mankind from Warhammer 40K. He's the person that all of the Earth legends are based off of. Yeah,
I called him Hercules because
that's what he looks like.
Literally, I couldn't pronounce his name, like his actual name. So I just called him
Anibu, I think.
Okay. So many of these characters, and the Kais are among them. Like, we'll never see any of these again.
Nope.
So we already described the monocle one, which I think is West. East Kai is the woman, right?
Yes, with long red hair and luscious lips. All of them are wearing sunglasses.
All of them are wearing sunglasses, yeah. She's also squat. She's about the same size as King Kai.
Yes.
South Kai is the only one that's tall. He's orangish with also sunglasses, also full lips.
Yeah.
And he's really, I like South Kai the best because he doesn't talk a lot, but he's got like a really upbeat attitude, and his warriors are distinctly different than the other fighters.
Yeah.
From the other quadrants. And every time the Kais are on screen together, they fight. They're basically siblings. I think it's North Kai, our King Kai, that calls East Kai, I think. God, this is so confusing. Calls her a nosy old hag, and she's like, I'm not nosy, which is just hilarious to me. So, okay, this is very important because it's going to come to play later. West Kai wants to hold an otherworld tournament, a competition between all the fighters on this planet to see who's the strongest because he's jealous that King Kai has Goku, basically. Elder Kai is excited and says, I'll tell you what, I'll do you one better. Whoever wins gets a free lesson by me. They don't have to wait to 10,000 years. They get a lesson right off the bat. And he's like, come on, follow the leader. And he grabs his boombox and he marches into his palace. It's the best scene
Yes.
in these 5 episodes.
And as he's going, yeah, tournament, baby. Just to the music that is there in the background of the TV show. Oh,
but it's
my
also
God,
in there in universe too.
It's so perfect. So they go to a huge open space area.
But don't forget to milk it. It takes a while because we get to see the march through the hallways that Elder Kai is leading, and him just tournament. Oh yeah,
he's just bopping
as he's walking through the hallways, and everybody else is following. He's skipping, like he's dancing to the music, and everybody else is walking, just kind of confused behind him. So you get to see all these shots of him dancing and then this huge crowd behind him. It's so great.
And eventually of fighters. It's so many people. But yeah, eventually they get to a wide open space, and it's space because
it's
now
a room
they are just
that they open
space.
the door. Yeah, they open the door. It is a self-contained room, which will be important later. But inside is space and asteroids and planetoids. Nothing huge, nothing massive, but like it's space. Yeah.
It's space, basically. Yeah. I think East Kai asks, why should we even let this Goku person in the tournament?
Everybody here has been training for thousands of years. Remember, they're working up to this lesson with Grand Kai.
Right.
That is the ultimate. And Goku literally just got here today. Goku's a rookie. Why should we even let him in? And she says, okay, we'll let you in, but
you have to beat me in a race.
You have to beat me in a race. This was the moment that was just so off the rails that I'm like, anything can happen. These 5 episodes, you can't predict them because it's so random and weird.
And here is how we race, because the next shot is first, some of the Kais, they get together and like, wow, just any excuse to start a race, huh? Every time she goes, so we can't take her anywhere.
She apparently, it's her character, yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's her thing. So then the next shot is the sound of a motorcycle revving up.
This would have made a better interruption if I remembered what the fuck she was riding. It's a moped. It's a space moped. It's not a motorcycle.
You're right.
It's not badass. It's just a moped. It's an old lady scooter in the grocery store style bike,
but with rocket engines.
I mean, yes, but the point is not that impressive.
Look, if I was at Walmart and an old lady scooter had rocket engines on the back, I'd probably clear away. I'd be like, she can buy her vodka in peace. I'm not gonna fuck with her.
Why? What Walmart are you going to that has vodka?
Mid-roll shout out. This is a part of the episode where I don't answer Spencer's question, and instead we'd like to shout out our patrons, which are going to be pulled up on my screen in just a minute because I really didn't plan to do that.
You went right to that. Yeah.
So we'd like to thank Dan with your amazing last name, CJ Collins, Artex. I had to, that was all by memory. I want you to know that's how long it takes my memory to go back and read through text messages that I've been through. And Spencer Feuerstein. Seriously, thank y'all so very much for contributing to keeping this thing going. We honestly appreciate it beyond all reason.
Aside from just episode to episode, do you know how excited I am the more I think about it, being able to go through Dragon Ball Super and Dragon Ball GT with like people that are behind us? So it's not just us just fucking around. Like, it's so good. I'm very grateful.
Genuinely surprising how far this has gone. Thank you all so very much for that. Where the fuck were we? Oh, how could I forget? Space motorcycles, vodka, grandma rockets. The space motorcycle race occurs, and it's Goku doesn't get a space motorcycle. Goku just has to fly.
Of course not.
And they're flying through space, asteroids and chunks of meteoroids, which I think they're only meteoroids when they enter the atmosphere.
Dude, it doesn't matter. This whole episode, like every asteroid is perfectly spherical, like a moon, which is not accurate at all because they're not moons.
It's nonsense. So they do that. They just race right through it. And Goku is pretty handily keeping up. And East Kai is, I'm so fast.
Hyper speed,
and pulls on the throttle, just squeezes the shit out of it, and then really starts going. And then also Goku really starts going. And at the very end of it, they get to the archway and they blast through it and they turn around, and sitting on the archway is my favorite part of all 5 of these episodes.
It's so good.
Grand Kai.
So good.
Grand Kai is holding a golden medal and hops down and says, "Congratulations. The winner is me." And he hangs the gold medal on his handlebar mustache and puts fists on his hips and just laughs. And It was the best goddamn punchline this show has ever had. And I know I've said like ever had before. No, this is it.
This race takes a while.
It does.
It is presented as a competition between these two characters. And when the ruler of this entire realm just says, I technically got to the finish line first, even though you didn't know I was a competitor, and I win, it's hilarious.
So I think following that, we get the rules of the tournament.
It literally doesn't even dwell on any of that shit, even though that Goku, like, it doesn't show who won. That's the important thing about this race is they're literally neck and neck photo finish until they cross the finish line. And they purposefully zoom out so that you as the audience member don't see who crosses the finish line, like for real. And Goku's just allowed to participate. That whole thing was pointless and never mentioned again. It is funny. It was just funny.
It was fantastic.
And so we cut to an asteroid within that space room that has basically a cell game style tournament without the pillars in the middle of it. So there's this like hunk of rock from space, and then on the top of it is grass and bleachers and an arena. And that's where the rest of these episodes will take place.
Yeah. Then they go over the rules, which each quadrant gets to pick from 4 contenders. From all of their warriors, they pick 4 contenders, rather. And so it's going to be 16 fighters.
Dude, I don't know. I think that makes more sense. They have like a little chalkboard with the tournament sketched out, and it looks like a lot more.
It looks like 64. It's a 64 bracket, but they don't do that.
But that makes the most sense for sure.
They say if you fall from the ring, start to cry or give up, you lose. Poking in the eye or hitting below the belt, they're not allowed. And you can't kill anyone because they're already dead.
Oh, we should point out that the announcer, the one saying all this, is a man that has a mushroom on his head. Yes. A mushroom man. It reminds me from something from Dark Souls, but I can't quite put my finger on what. But he's super chill. He's a regular old guy. He's just a mushroom guy. And he'll be with us through the remainder of these episodes.
I noticed in a single frame of the show that is dwelled on for maybe 0.5 seconds, other vegetables in referee outfits.
Oh, yes, I did. I saw that too. I didn't even make a note of it because it was blinking, you'll miss it. Like it didn't matter.
Which means that just the people that are running this tournament are foods. Like I have so many questions, but we just have to move on because we have the first match. Move on.
I just want to point out one thing. This whole tournament is predicated on an event to celebrate the death of North Kai, which is our King Kai. That's right. That's the whole reason this is even happening, which is hilarious.
They immediately get into the first match. Like there's no waiting. There's no, can't wait to get into these fights. Like there's a little bit of that, maybe 20 seconds of Goku saying, wow, this is going to be great. Something like that. But then it just,
just jump into it. It's great.
Jumps right into it. First match is fighting. The Emperor of Mankind from Warhammer versus Chappa Chai. I really tried to write these names down, but
it's Hercules and a little guy, just a little guy that's bald and has a beard, dark skin. That's just it. That's as much as we know about him. This is such a weird. Okay, all of these fights, every single one of these fights is weird.
So strange.
Incredibly unique and strange and fun. Like you don't know what to expect. Anything could happen. But it's a super short guy versus Hercules, the Almighty, and they go head to head. Short guy's special move. He moves so fast. He's super fast. That it is as if there are 7 of him on the battlefield at once, right? Because he's moving so fast. Then Hercules, while being surrounded by the 7, jumps out of the way, and the 7, who are one person, supposedly, jump together because they were going to get him, and they all collide, and then they get stuck together, and they're out. From now on, until the end of these episodes, it's not one short guy anymore. It's 7 short guys.
There's 7 of them. Yeah.
Even when he's not moving fast anymore.
Yep.
I don't understand. I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense.
I think this character, Chappa Chai or something, moves so fast that he has actually created duplicate versions of himself. There was just one. But because he has broken the structure of reality, he now exists in multiple places at the same moment.
And will forever.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to go with. If Chappa Chai wanted Chapachai could populate the universe with Chapachais. Like this is
just by speed alone. Yeah.
Yeah. Osmosis.
Because 1 makes 7, makes
mitosis.
49, makes et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah.
Yeah. It's extraordinary exponential mitosis. So anyway, he loses. Hercule advances. As does Pikkon.
Hercules.
Hercule. I'm so sorry. The Supreme Emperor of Mankind advances. That's what I'm going to keep calling him. Pikkon advances also. I don't remember what his fight is. I think it's just like a flash and he wins.
Yeah, I honestly don't remember. Goku fights a caterpillar.
That's what happens next. Goku fights and his name is Caterpie. The caterpillar's name is Caterpie. And I remembered.
That's hilarious.
Yes, I remembered watching this episode as a kid and thinking, this is fucking stupid. And then not watching the rest of this saga.
I'm not going to insult you for that, though, because I think as a kid, this isn't what Dragon Ball Z was about.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's not about the fun, stupid, goofy shit. It's about the saving the world. But like me as an adult, I'm kind of tired of every single story being about saving the world. Mm-hmm. So this was really fun. We've earned it. They've been saving the world for like 3 seasons now.
Let's have some
they
goddamn
need a break.
Fun. This is Dragon Ball Z's version of a spa episode, of the beach episodes, which they have
the onsen,
moments of the 5 episodes of a chill tournament where beefcakes beat the shit out of each other and we get to see weird powers.
It's fun.
It is. It's fantastic. Goku's fighting Caterpie. Caterpie is menacing, and the way Caterpie laughs is like, yeah.
It's the caterpillar from Alice in Wonderland, like larger than life, multiple arms, really big caterpillar.
And Goku jumps up above Caterpie to try and get, I don't know, advantage. Caterpie reaches, extends Piccolo style, arms up, grabs Goku, brings him down, is holding onto Goku with all of the arms and laughing maniacally, and then just starts tickling the shit out of Goku. Tickling him with all the hands, tickling him until Goku's laughing. The music goes from really intense to just hilarious. Everyone in the stands is confused. West and East Kai are just staring at South Kai, who this is South Kai's fighter. And South Kai's standing there like, yep, that's what we're doing here.
And somebody says, I can't remember who, but somebody says South Quadrant must be a really peaceful place.
Yeah. That was the Emperor of Mankind says this. Doesn't Goku make like an arc in the air, just flies with Caterpie on him and then hits the ground? Goku is released. Caterpie then, with tears in their eyes, is like, you're being so mean, and then just starts bawling, which you heard the rules. You can't fucking cry, Caterpie. That's not what causes Caterpie to lose.
Yeah, what the hell? He cried. Isn't he out? Why did they do the rest of this?
Well, I'll get to that. Hang on. There's another fight where they break that goddamn rule. So Caterpie makes a big cocoon around himself, and they say, okay, well, sounds like he's evolving into something even more powerful. How long is this going to take? And South Guy says, I don't know, like 12,000 years. And everybody's like, no. Goku wins. We're not waiting for that. We're just moving on. And Goku in his head says, this is not normal. I don't remember what he says. He's like, this is strange.
But yeah, that's the end of the episode.
Yeah. Yep.
That brings us to episode 197. Oh, God. The Japanese title is Grand Kaio's World Gone Wild. Goku kicks up a whirlwind. The American title is Water Fight.
I love how dryly you said the American title versus the other one.
It just doesn't have the heart, does it?
It really doesn't. Like I said in the beginning, sometimes the American titles, great, nail it. This one, it's just like, I don't know, what the fuck do we call this one? Water Fight? I don't know.
Water Fight.
My title is Goku Says It Best. This sure is some kind of wacky competition. It's kind of like a circus.
Okay, we're already down to 8 contenders. We play through the, what would that be? The quarterfinals, I think. This whole episode is the quarterfinals.
Yes. Yeah.
There's a fighter called Argua. Argua, something like that.
You're talking about Jesus Frog?
Looks like a blue guy who's a little squat and has a mohawk that is made of fins. He does not look psyched to have made it this far. Like, he looks, every shot in him is him looking nervous and weird and scared. There are certain shots in this that make me laugh. Like, while Pikkon is, I think he's watching Goku, he takes the longest blink in the history of blinks in anime. It literally is like 5 seconds for one blink, and then it cuts away from him. The Kais are you some more, which is really fun, but I don't really understand what the Kais are anyway. First up, the first tournament battle of this episode are two characters that we don't care about. But I will say that like these series of episodes do tournament style battles better than anything that's come before because it follows the rules, well, to a point. And we don't know who wins. And whoever wins could go on to fight somebody we do care about. So it's kind of interesting in that respect, just to see the battles. And I think this fight is little guy, but not a little guy that we've seen before, and dragon.
No. So it's little. This first fight is Red Cell. He looks like Cell, but he's red. Okay. He's a bug man. Yeah. And then fights, little guy who's really fast.
So little guy who becomes Sonic.
Sonic legs.
Like he's showing off before the battle even begins for some reason. And he just spins his legs real fast and like darts around the ring. Then the battle starts. He darts around the ring some more. And then he gets tired and he stops. He's out of breath. And Red Cell is like, oh my God, this is so embarrassing, but I win. And during that fight, that's where this music track comes in. And it's really good.
It's inexplicably good. It happened way back when Pikkon fought Cell, is the first time it kicked on.
So Cell wannabe, that's what I called him. Can't hit Sonic. Sonic runs out of breath. He gives up. The whole audience just kind of face palms and they all fall, sideways in their seats. And Grand Kai is shown as like, I think he's asleep in that shot. I think he just fell asleep. Okay. Next up is Frog v Dragon.
Jesus Frog.
Yes. Yeah. Jesus Frog, like Frog from Chrono Trigger. He's literally a frog that stands on two legs and wears clothes.
He wears a big, long cloak. And I keep saying Jesus Frog because it's the big, white, like, religious cloth. That's what it looks like.
And he's fighting big, purple, beefed up dragon.
Yeah.
And the match starts, and Frog is very small. That's what you have to know about Frog, is that he's very small. And then the fight starts, and Frog balloons up like Cell. Except he keeps going. He gets real big. Remember, we're fighting on an arena on an asteroid, and he like eclipses that, but he stays on the ring somehow. So as he's expanding on the ring, he's pushing Purple Dragon guy further and further out. So if he gets a ring out, it's going to be a lose. So it looks like Purple Dragon's gonna fall on his face on the grass, and that's when it cuts to Goku. He's like, "What the? This is a circus. This is crazy.
A fucking joke."
And the announcer, the Mushroom guys, he's like, oh, this guy's giving new meaning to the term. This ring ain't big enough for the two of us. But he's literally not, because it's just it's actually not big enough for the two of them. So there's no new meaning to be had. It's just it's big. He's big.
You would make a better announcer, is what you're saying. You want to take this Mushroom's job.
I definitely do. Yeah. The dragon, cornered and almost falling off the ring, says, oh no, not this time. Except he doesn't say anything. Picks up balloon guy, because the girth that he has acquired is mostly due to something super light like air or helium or whatever. Dragon just picks up Frog and throws Frog into space. Frog hits moon. Frog is defeated.
Frog deflates, hits ground. Yeah, it's a very extremely strange, absurd thing that occurs, and I love it. I loved it so much.
It was so much fun because it was so strange.
I liked Dragon. For some reason,
Dragon's good. Dragon comes back though.
Oh yeah.
It's not the end of Dragon. It's the end of Frog.
We'll see more Dragon. I like Dragon. I don't know why.
It's interesting stuff that we've never seen before, and it's cool.
I can't say that I hated a single one of these weird fighters that they made. It's not Coroni. It's not Russian Mask Eater.
They don't make fools of themselves. Like I think it's understood that all of these fighters are heroes that died that are training to fight better. So all of them are serious in their own little unique, funny kind of way. So Goku's next, and he goes up against, this is where the Agua, purple frog guy with a mohawk fin comes in.
And he's slumped. Like, he can't stand up straight.
He's so scared. He doesn't want to fight. He doesn't want to be there. And he's like not strong, and he's just kind of cowering. The fight begins, and he literally just like, oh God. He like moves back and forth as Goku's charging him, and Goku just gets like a huge kick.
Goku says, I wouldn't have kicked him that hard if I'd known he was that weak. Oh, yeah. Like, Goku feels bad immediately watching the frogman go into space.
And then Weskai, the girl, the woman. Iskai? Yeah. Yells, or whatever. Yells out, hey, use your special power, you idiot. So Argua does, and we don't really know what happens because it flashes. Everybody's like, oh,
it's a big flash.
It's a big flash. And then we look at the ring. It's a cube of water now.
I don't know how that works necessarily, but everything's been so wacky up to this point. I'm on board for what the fuck ever.
I'm fine with it. The only thing that really trips me up is everybody, including Goku, acts surprised, as if they've never seen this before. So what the hell did Argua go up against in the preceding rounds to get to the quarterfinals?
That's a good question.
He didn't have to use this power.
Because we've seen this in a couple other fights. The other fighters just fought themselves out of the ring or fucked up somehow.
Yeah, so maybe it's that. King Kai looks at Goku's predicament. He's like, oh, that's so unfair. And he's got this cute little scrunched up face. As he say, it's adorable.
A little U for a mouth.
So Argua dives into this cube of water that he's created, and he is a psycho now. Like, he is laughing, he's smiling, he's having a good time, just clipping Goku left and right. Goku's like, oh, fuck, I'm underwater, I can't breathe, what's going on? And he targets Argua and just says solar flare, which is the ultimate move.
So you know it's over.
Argua's blinded. Goku jumps out of the cube of water, does a Kamehameha, and fries the guy. And he wins. Goku wins. Argua gets punished and has to run 1,000 laps around because the female Kai is really unreasonable. She's basically Dolores Umbridge, if you're a Harry Potter
Holy
fan.
shit, that's who she is. Yeah.
And I really like this part because, like, the match is over. Argua's talking to West East Kai, whatever, being berated for losing. And Goku comes up to him and just says, hey, that was a really good fight. That was really cool what you did. And I liked your moves. Like, congratulations, you held your own. That was awesome. Just showing his good guy status. That was a nice little addition to the episode.
All the fighters have been really respectful of one another because they're all heroes.
Yeah.
They're all good, actually well-versed in technique
There aren't
fighters.
any stakes in this. Like, there's no good versus evil, destruction of Earth. It's just like, they're just fighting because it's fun. Like, I don't know. It was really refreshing.
It's so nice. This was such a fantastic catharsis to what the Garlic Jr. saga was. The explanations that they had for things were just short enough with just enough information for us to follow what they're doing.
The ones that didn't make sense, the ones that were just jokes, were almost meta.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
Like the characters reacted as the audience was reacting because it was ridiculous or it didn't make sense or whatever.
Yeah.
Like it was right in line with what I was thinking, which was it was perfect. It was perfect.
So good. All of it was so good. So after Goku's fight, after Goku does the Kamehameha, there is a cut to Pikon's face. And Pikon's got this oh shit eyes, like oh no.
I love that. Like throughout these whole episodes, this isn't the first time and it's not the last time. Pikkon and Goku are constantly sizing each other up and seeing how they work as fighters. It's kind of great.
Goku congratulates Fish Boy, and then now it is the Emperor of Mankind, Abiru of
the
Hercules
guy
versus Pikkon, and they go after it. And it's a fair fight. And this is
actually a really good fight. I like it a lot.
This is where I noticed the animation budget that they had was not good, probably because these are filler episodes. But I am 100% willing to forgive that because this is, in my heart, peak what I like about Dragon Ball Z. It's fun. It's lighthearted. We got two characters that are about equal. They do some surprising midair fighting. A couple of them do backflips and shit. As long as you're doing backflips and shooting beams and shit, I don't care necessarily if the animation isn't the best. And they even do the thing where they reuse frames, but I get it. Their budget isn't as high as it could be. And that track.
It's weird. It's so weird that Pikkon gets like a theme, right?
Yeah.
It's his theme and he's only in these 5 episodes. You never see him again. Well, I think he's in one or two of the movies. But he's not in the anime again. Anyway, so it's so weird that he gets his, because all the rest of the music is recycled from previous episodes, but they get a couple tracks that are unique to this and unique to Pikkon.
They're killer.
It's great. So the announcer guy during this fight says, oh, both these fighters are so incredible. The mushroom guy, one of them has to be expected to take home the gold this year. And I don't think the writing holds up in this saga because this year is inaccurate because remember, we're having this tournament because North Kai died and that don't happen every year. So
0 out of 10. They're not consistent.
0 out of 10. These episodes suck. Podcast over.
Yeah. Well, no, really, it's the announcer's fault. This announcer is shit.
He's not as good as
our bar is
Johnny
so high for Johnny Firecracker. That's what it is.
Exactly.
This one's
or
just
whoever
average.
Eric Vale voices. Who knows?
Yeah. I think Eric Vale actually does the voice for Red Piccolo or Red Cell. I heard something similar. And also,
I don't say it yet. It's not, I didn't notice at this point
because I didn't notice at this point either. But you know,
it's
you
know. Yeah. So these two immediately fly into space because they're just too powerful for the ground. Neither one can land a hit on each other. They keep teleporting around. It's really great. And Hercules finally gets a hit in and sends Pikkon back into the ring. Constantly throughout this, you see fragments of the fight. You don't see any contact. You see them vanishing. You see them dodging. You see reaction shots. You don't really see the fight itself. And then, like, it's building up and building up and building up. Somebody gets a punch in. Somebody flies across the ring. They're both wearing white. All you see is a figure with white clothing flying to the stands and get a ring out. It cuts and you see that Hercules, Adobule or whatever his name is, has lost. The weird part is Hercules goes to the ring to face Pikkon after he's already lost. He's like, I don't have to say this, but I concede. Even though he's already lost, which I get it. I know what they were going for, but it just seemed kind of like an asshole, like, oh, I could have beat you, but I'm just going to bow out.
Oh, it seemed like hat on a hat. What they were going for was that he's a good man, but like we understand that already. So it's just kind of we
get that he's good.
Now he's the paladin that is saying I'm a good guy.
I really wish that he just would have conceded because they were really seriously neck and neck throughout the whole thing. I wish he just would have stopped and said, you know what? You're better than I am. I concede. Anyway, that's basically the end of the episode.
It is.
It leads right into episode 198. The Japanese title is Final Round of Flame, Goku or Paikuhan. The American title is Final Round.
Did you notice in Dragon Ball Legends, I don't know if they still have Paikuhan as a gettable character at this point.
Oh, yeah. Everybody, like seriously, everybody you could imagine, you can get. I have 2 versions of Bulma, one in a bunny suit. And she flies around on jetpacks and uses Uzis and rocket launchers.
Holy shit, that's rad.
It's kind of amazing.
And I know that they have those characters in there and they have like cool abilities that are great for support. And you swap them out with another character and it gives them like a massive boost or whatever.
Yeah.
Or they have that special ability that's something super unique.
Yeah, it's deeper than you would think going in originally.
Yeah, it's, oh my God, there's so much. Anyway, my title for this episode is... Why is this set of episodes so fucking good? Holy good, what the fuck?
Holy good.
We kick off with another fight.
So we're in the semifinals now. It's Goku versus, do you remember who?
The sexy dinosaur. I mean the dinosaur.
Purple Dragon. The thing that I noticed, I don't know if you noticed, is we open with this pan shot, right? So it looks at the arena and it's going from left to right. And you see Goku on one end closest to the camera and Purple Dragon on the other end, barely visible. As it's panning across, Goku is moving. And I noticed when I was watching this that if you look at just the right side of the screen, the very right side of the screen, you see this little smudge, this little itty bitty smudge that moves with Goku. Because the animation cell that they used, the Goku animated cell to put him in, wasn't entirely clean.
Whoa.
So you can see one of the edges as it scoots the character from right to left.
Interesting. No, I didn't.
I just barely caught it, so I had to rewind to look at it again. But it's kind of a cool little. I don't know. I guess you could call it an error, but really it doesn't matter. It's just kind of a fun thing to look at.
Interesting. No, I didn't even see that. I guess that's another one of the errors. The other one being the Goku hair thing. Weird.
I thought it was neat. I thought it was cool. So Goku versus Dragon. Gee, I wonder who will win. Is my note.
You know what? Dragon does a good job fighting Goku, though. It is a surprising fight, and it's probably Goku's fucking around. He never goes Super Saiyan. He's just doing. He doesn't. His Goku
this
thing.
Whole and I have a note later on, but I'll go ahead and talk about it now. This whole arc, Goku is Goofy Goku.
Yeah,
There's 2 versions of Goku in Dragon Ball Z. Goofy Goku, who eats a lot and makes jokes and is kind of clumsy and whatever. And there's Fighter Goku, Super Saiyan Goku, who's like super serious and like, go, I'm going to defeat you. You shouldn't have said that, blah, blah, blah. You have one chance to get off this planet. That's
allied to good, nightmare
Goku.
To you, that Goku.
This whole arc so far has been Goofy Goku, which is weird because you don't see Goofy Goku fighting on Earth almost ever.
Yeah.
It's fun. That's part of the reason that this arc lends itself to just the pure enjoyment that I got from it. It's just fun to see Goku not serious about it. He's just having a good time. I noticed in this episode that Grand Kai's throne, so he sits on a chair the entire time.
I noticed this episode too. It's a car.
It's a sports car.
It's a sports car.
It's got pedals. It's got detail, like
headlights.
He's sitting in the seat of a sports car. It's kind of an amazing detail.
He's radical as fuck. It was either going to be that or a bunch of speakers with a guitar or something.
So they start fighting. Purple Dragon kicks Goku into space. They start fighting with asteroids. Goku is knocked through various asteroids and then retaliates by flying through the very asteroids that he was knocked through, which is kind of a cool visual. Mm-hmm. There is one time where the Purple Dragon picks up an asteroid while standing on an asteroid, and they rotate a little bit so it looks like balls. I thought that was fun.
Well, they rotate a lot because Purple Dragon is trying to use the leverage of the asteroid he's standing on to grab the other asteroid, and then gravity makes him just like spin real hard, and his eyes get all wet. He's like, oh shit. And it does the full turn around, and eventually he's able to throw the asteroid, but Goku just blasts through it and smacks into Dino Man. I call him Dino Man in my notes, but he's a dragon.
Dino Man is really good. And he kicks him in the groin.
Oh my God, that's against the rules. Round. He kicks him right in his dragon dick.
Nobody calls him on it. Nobody sees it. The Mushroom Man has
Which you think he'd have eyes on that kind of move since he's a mushroom, so he'd know when.
But he does. He breaks the rules, and then he Mario 64s him by grabbing his tail and spinning him around, and just flings that beast out of the ring.
Yes. Goku should have lost in this moment because he totally broke the rules.
It's a funny shot, but he does break the rules.
I don't know if those were even the rules in Japanese, though, or if it was just a thing that they did put in the English dub. I didn't have the subtitles on this one. I thought about it, but
I thought about it several times, and I think this is the arc that convinced me maybe I should just have them on.
Yeah.
And try not to distract myself, because so often when I have subtitles on, my eyes just go to the bottom of the screen and I just watch the bottom of the screen for the episode. I don't take in the whole visual. But I got to learn to coexist with them, because I think the certain parts of this arc made me want to see what the subtitles were.
Yeah, it's a balance, right? Because on the one hand, I really want to pay attention to all the animation, look at the art, because that's what I really, really enjoy about the show, among all the other shit. We talked about this. We've done this before. Anyway, Goku's stomach growls now, and
there's a weird shot. Did you see the shot of Grand Kai with the pink umbrella for just like a second?
Yeah,
I don't understand what that was.
I don't know. He's the Grand Kai, and so there's a little servant Kai that runs up and like whoop, holds an umbrella.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Pikkon fights Red Cell
off screen. We don't even see it.
It's the battle that you don't see, and Pikkon wins. Obviously, it shows West Kai, the female Kai.
East Kai
marching her loser troops. The only reason that I mentioned this, otherwise I would have skipped it, is that short guy from like one of the original rounds that we talked about splits himself into 7. He's still 7
again.
He's not fighting. He's not going fast. He's just literally 7 people now. It's crazy.
Such a strange thing. West Kai,
the
bad guy one with a monocle, makes a bet with North Kai, our King Kai, on who is going to win, because at this point, Pikkon and Goku are the final match. West Kai bets his planet. North Kai goes to bet his planet and then goes, oh, wait, I don't have a planet. I'll be your servant. He will become West Kai's servant if Pikkon wins. If Goku wins, King Kai gets West Kai's planet.
So the battle begins. Pikkon is standing on the arena. Goku has been eating this entire time because he's hungry. Maybe my favorite shot of these 5 episodes is King Kai dragging Goku to the ring to fight by the chicken leg. Like he's got a piece of meat in his mouth, and King Kai is grabbing it and dragging him to the arena as Goku is saying with mouth full, "Come on, King Kai, just let me have one more bite."
The announcer says, "We're all Gokus. Please report to the arena."
And Pikkon looks at this whole display and goes like, he's either a fighting genius or a total fool, which is the perfect description for Goku's character.
Yeah, it is.
Then it cuts to Goku and Pikkon both in the arena, and they just start fighting.
They just go.
Like Goku does the thing where he's like pretends.
Yeah,
right.
Pretend
like
fighting.
He pretends to be full power. He pretends that he's actually giving it his all. And Pikkon's not having any of it. He just goes like, "No games," and punches him.
Yeah.
And these guys really are even. They keep trying to blast each other. So they're both being chased by the opposites energy blast. And then their great idea is to nearly fly into each other, but then fly up so that the blasts that are chasing them collide. Then they land back on the ring. They hold hands, and they're just trying to get each other, one of them off of the ring, right?
Yeah.
Goku pushes Pikkon right to the edge of the ring. Pikkon can't push back, but he's also not being pushed off. And eventually Goku gives up the ghost and backflips. And there's a cool little POV backflip shot where the camera goes Goku's eyes for like 2 seconds and you see him backflip, which is kind of cool. And they stop grappling. And Pikkon's like, ho, okay, you're not nobody.
Right. This whole time, Pikkon has been thinking he's strong, but he's undisciplined. He's not focused. He's not paying attention. And now that Pikkon's hand in hand with Goku, he's like, okay, he's pretty good. So they have some distance from each other. Pikkon takes off his weighted clothes.
What? What's the problem?
We've been over this. We've been over the weighted clothes thing. It doesn't fucking do anything. It doesn't help. Here's the thing that bothers me. It's not even that. Pikkon takes off his weighted clothes and throws them at Goku to be like, yeah, try and lift that shit. This is what I've been wearing.
And they hit the ring and they make like a little crater.
Yeah.
Like they're heavy.
And Goku lifts it up and says, oh, wow, this is heavy. I should introduce you sometime to my friend Piccolo. He wears weighted training clothes too. You'd get along great. Doesn't Goku also wear weighted training clothes all the time?
Technically, yes. His wristbands and shoes and stuff are weighted. Yeah.
Why does he say that then?
Because they're both green.
Yeah.
I did like that Goku couldn't quite lift up the training clothes at first. He couldn't. And Goofy Goku is gone.
Yes.
Goofy Goku goes Super Saiyan. He's not pretending anymore. He's not like, woo. Mm-hmm. He's like, I'm going to save the world, even though there's no stakes. And he goes Super Saiyan and these two face off for real. Which brings us right into episode 199. The Japanese title is Don't Let Victory Get Away. Finish with an ultra fast Kamehameha. And the American title is Goku versus Pikkon.
My title is If Every DBZ movie ended the way this episode did, I'd be happier about watching them.
This episode opens with the exact moment that I realize that the voice actor for Pikkon
is the narrator.
Is the voice actor for the narrator.
Is the narrator
in Dragon Ball Z. There was a few times in this episode where Pikkon spoke and it was a wide shot, so you weren't seeing the lips move, that I legitimately thought that the narrator of Dragon Ball Z, next time on Dragon Ball Z, that guy, was narrating something going on in the episode. Because it's the same damn actor.
Yes. And I'm so happy that they use the narrator because
he got a chance to shine, man.
And he shines very brightly as Pikkon. I think he does a fantastic job. And you don't even know that it is the narrator until Pikkon's really fighting.
This final episode. Like it takes so long to realize it. It's great.
Yeah. And it's because Pikkon has to really stress themselves to fight against Super Saiyan Goku. And that stress brings out the next time voice. I will say part of me dislikes the idea that Goku is just out of all of existence in history, the strongest guy.
Yeah, I agree. Like, not only has Pikkon been training for thousands of years, but he was like around in a different part of the galaxy and he was one of the strongest fighters there. So like, it's cool that Pikkon and Goku are evenly matched, which they are. It is a little disappointing because I legitimately thought about 3 different times during this episode that Pikkon was going to win.
Yeah.
Because this is a no stakes filler arc where Goku can't die and the Earth isn't at stake. If there was any time at all for Goku to lose, this would have been perfect.
This would have been the amazing,
It seems like it's going that way because as Goku turns Super Saiyan, the Kais fight again. They're like, oh man, it must be some kind of disease. Did he just go golden? What's going on? And King Kai is standing all triumphant. He's like, you're going to get it now. Goku's just going to win handily. And that like confidence that is instilled on the audience is just destined to be punched in the face, right? Like, at the beginning of the episode, if you say this guy's for sure going to win, surely by the end of it, you're proven wrong because that's how arcs work.
It doesn't necessarily take anything away from all of this because I know in my heart of hearts, Goku has to win this thing. I know. It's the Goku show. We all know. But just the whole world that they've built, the whole idea of there are fighters that have been training for thousands of years in the afterlife, and they still don't match where our hero is now. It feels self-indulgent.
Which is a shame because I really could see a situation, and we're kind of spoiling it, but I could see a situation where Goku doesn't get the lesson taught by Grand Kai.
Yeah.
He says, we're totally even. I'm not defeated, but I concede.
Mm-hmm.
is better deserving of the victory than I am.
Yeah.
Go train with Grand Kai.
It's just hopes. It's just things that I and that we hope for. Oh, Goku can learn there are much stronger fighters than he is, and that will push him to be a better fighter in the future. But if he's just the best fucker, then what the fuck? He's got nothing to like.
Then why?
Yeah, exactly. So it's again, it doesn't take anything away from this self-contained arc that I really enjoyed, but that would be my deep hope that didn't occur.
So they are together. They're super powerful. Lightning starts to flash across the sky, which doesn't exist because there's no atmosphere, but it does anyway.
Yeah.
And then they start to fight. Goku comes out of the gate with the Kamehameha. Pikkon vanishes and he appears above the arena on an asteroid. I can't state how many times they try to hit each other without hitting each other. There's a long sequence where Pikkon and Goku both try to hit each other and they keep vanishing and stuff. They're very, very even. We get it. So,
yeah, I do want to say animation budget was all spent here for this fight, as it should have been.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. It's Goku versus Pikkon.
It's the big event. It's the finals. But for sure, there is a marked difference in the number of frames during this fight. If there was like a spectacle to be had in this arc, it's this one.
Pikkon decides now is the perfect time to unleash his first secret move, special move. It's the hyper tornado attack. Yeah. He actually names it this time. It's called the hyper tornado attack. Starts to spin again, makes a tornado, gets Goku caught up in it, and Goku starts getting cut, like a death by 1,000 cuts style.
Yeah, it looks kind of brutal, honestly.
It does. It looks very brutal. The entire audience of the arena is also sort of caught up by this tornado. The Kais, all four of them are kind of blown in as well. Mm-hmm. And East Kai, female Kai, hat's blown off. And I didn't quite understand this at first, but she's revealed to be bald, essentially. She has a little bit of wisp of hair underneath. But her hair that we've seen this whole time is just a wig, which is kind of funny. It's a blink and you'll miss a joke, but it's there. And Goku's caught in this tornado. I don't love it, but he just flexes his muscles.
Yeah.
All he does is he flexes his muscles and he gets out of it by screaming. Like he doesn't do anything.
He fights the wind and wins.
Yeah.
The next thing he does, I thought was super fucking cool. And I don't think it comes up in the series again. This is the only time it does.
It is, but I don't understand it.
He is Super Saiyan right now. And then uses Kaioken on top of his Super Saiyan.
No. Wrong. He goes super Kaioken.
Right.
What the hell does that mean?
That means his Super Saiyan is a level of power, and he uses Kaioken in that form to amplify his Super Saiyan power.
But whatever god that grants the extra power to him needs to know that it's super instead of just Kaioken or just Kaioken times 2, et cetera, et cetera.
I don't know. I don't know why he named it that. Like, it's just Kaioken, but he's Super Saiyan, so it's Super Kaioken.
But I liked the appearance of Kaioken again.
Yes.
It was nice to see it after all this time.
I'm applying like future rules to it to make it make sense, because in the far future, he does use Kaioken on top of other forms. So it just multiplies the power of that form. And I don't want to get into power scaling. I'm basing this off of fucking Xenoverse that has actual numbers set to the amount of damage your attacks do. So I don't know. It was a cool visual. He turns very red and then goes up and
it was cool.
Boxes
it was cool.
Pikkon.
Yeah.
And he starts charging a Kamehameha, and something happens that I have always wondered why it has not happened before. He goes Kame, and then Pikkon just fucking punches him in the middle of him saying the whole phrase.
So much power is going on through this fight. The arena is being destroyed. The bleachers are being destroyed. And maybe the best American dub joke that I can pinpoint with 100% accuracy, the Mushroom Man announcer says, "Oh man, I'm getting way too old for this stuff."
Yeah.
You could see Grand Kai with a cigarette, also hoping that nobody remembers that the grand prize of the tournament is a lesson with him.
He forgot.
Because it's the whole reason that anybody is doing this in the first place. And then you get to see the true markings of Pikkon's power. He does a little Tai Chi maneuver.
Yes.
Very slow, very zen. And he sort of does like movements with his body and then says a phrase and then an attack happens. The phrase he uses over and over again for this one is Thunder Flash, which I thought was Thunder Blast, but it's Thunder Flash. But also looks like Fire Blast because it's just a torrent of fire that emits from his hands.
Well, it's lightning first and then fire. We got to get this right. People will be upset. He creates the Tai Chi movement, puts his fists together, lightning fires out a little bit, and then fire explodes outwards. And the first time Goku encounters this, he just gets fucking faced by this blast. It just floors him, and the ring explodes.
It goes into the bleachers. It melts the ring around him.
Yeah.
He's still in the ring technically, but he's been melted like into the floor. So there's a crater now. Grand Kai's cigarette gets burned by that, which is funny.
Yep.
And then more Tai Chi and another Thunder Flash with the exact same
animation
sequence.
Reuse, which I kind of forgive. Yep.
And Goku's on the floor. He's been blasted twice. He's just laying on the melted remains of the ring. Pikkon goes in for the final blow, and Goku decides that he's got power after all and flashes up into space. Pikkon follows him. They start fighting in space. One of the Kai says something that I really like here, which is, I've told that Pikkon not to use that moves in such close quarters. It's getting harder and harder to teach these kids. It's all about explosions to them, which is just like perfect analog for DBZ as a whole.
Yeah. The writing in all of this is very, very good.
Anyway, so they blast off into space to fight, and nobody can see him. Nobody except Grand Kai, who, as we see reflected off his sunglasses, is keeping track of the fight, but nobody else knows what's going on. This part is great and also infuriating, but it happens. So they're in space, right? There's asteroids and shit, but remember that they entered through a doorway. They're inside of Grand Kai's palace, and Pikkon and Goku both touch the ceiling of this like spherical room. For a split second, you can see the ceiling of this room as they reach the edge of space, bounce off it, and then collide into each other again. They fight some more, and they're both even. Eventually, Pikkon gets in a lucky hit. Goku goes back down and lands in the ring. He's not out yet still. Pikkon lands next to him, does more Tai Chi, Thunder Flash attack, and Goku does what he should have done before and just instant transmissions above Pikkon before he can get the blast off, because he's seen this attack multiple times now, and he knows the pinpoint second when he's free to act, where Pikkon will be just distracted enough that he can get a blast in. Goku does a Kamehameha and rings out Pikkon. I honestly did not expect Goku to win.
I didn't either.
I thought for sure he would concede. And Pikkon would win, and Goku would be slightly humbled in the afterlife, where there's a bunch of people more powerful than him. Something to work toward, while he's dead, but whatever. Goku wins.
Already went over my whole thing with it. So yeah, exactly. Same.
But you get more Good Samaritan Goku as he helps Pikkon to his feet. King Kai's happy. He's been made fun of and ridiculed this entire episode by his fellow Kais. He finally gets a leg to stand on as he says, "I get your planet. I win the bet." And then Grand Kai shows up and he's like, "Hey, actually, nobody won the tournament."
Yeah, I'm the winner of the
surprise, you guys touched the ceiling.
Yeah, they broke the rules.
And according to this giant rule book, that's against the rules. It's the same as touching the floor, because the floor is the ceiling and the ceiling is the floor when you stand on your head. And so I don't need to give a private lesson to anybody. I'll give it to you in like 200, 300 years.
Right.
And in his head, he says, "So I can train because I've been a freaking couch potato."
Yep.
Which is kind of funny, but also anticlimactic. And if neither one of them win, shouldn't the third place person get the gold?
The third place person would have been,
I think it's Red Cell, right?
Red Cell gets the or Dinosaur
or Purple Dragon, one of the two, for sure. Yeah.
But really, it's just Grand Kai doesn't have a plan. And kind of threw out I'll give him a private lesson, which honestly, I was expecting the private lesson to be guitar playing or rocking. Something of that nature.
See, okay, that would have been amazing. That would have been a really fun
because
ending.
That's what King Kai thought Goku showed up for. And King Kai's really good at jokes. And King Kai was like, "Oh, you want training for jokes? I can teach you how to be a great comedian." So this Grand Kai, who's obviously a rockin' old grandpa man, "I'll teach you how to rock. I'll teach you how to be radical, dude."
And then everybody does that anime like, and falls on their head.
Yeah, exactly.
And then the end of the episode.
We should write Dragon Ball Z.
I'm up for it.
Yeah.
So then, with that saga over, we turn to Earth.
Oh, this was so nice.
I really liked it. I'm glad that you said that. I was worried that you wouldn't like it given what we ended with before with Gohan.
No.
But I really enjoyed this. So we cut to Earth. It's been years, and we know it's been years because we settle on Goku's house as Gohan walks out the door, except it's not the Gohan that we've seen before. He is much older.
Yeah.
16, 17 years old.
Something like that.
Tall, shorter hair, says goodbye to Chi-Chi. Chi-Chi says, oh, you forgot your lunch. He's dressed in a school uniform. Gohan's going to high school in the city, and he calls Nimbus to get to school. And the moment that he said Nimbus, I just got like a little teary-eyed because that's the perfect.
It's so good.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
It was such a good callback to Dragon Ball and his lineage, and like, it's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And Gohan's next challenge is going to high school.
That's what the narrator says. Gohan may have gone across the galaxy, but there's one great challenge he has yet to face. High school. They say it like that.
Yeah.
A, what a fucking line. B, that's actually super true. Like, you can go ahead and save the planet, but you still have to contend with assholes in high school.
I thought it was great, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what kind of shenanigans Gohan gets into next time on Eric Hates Dragon Ball Z.
Radical dude.
Gotta have a tournament.
I fucking loved these episodes. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, they were really good. It's kind of a shame that none of these characters show up again, but like,
yeah,
I had a good time.
Yeah, it was the perfect reintroduction for us, I think, after the big filler arc that we had with all that other stuff going on. Having this,
it was a good reintroduction.
It was just
to the show,
fun. Oh,
sure.
It was so good. It was so refreshing, and I'm so concerned that the following 70 episodes are gonna fucking blow. But it's fine. We'll get there. Thank you for listening to Eric Hates Dragon Ball Z. He may hate the show, but he loves that you are listening. If you have any feedback for us, feel free to send us a message at mail, M-A-I-L, at ehdbz.com. You can leave us a voicemail at 385-DARE-1-OX. Eric Hates Dragon Ball Z is made by the Rocktopus Network of Podcasts. I like that you're just sitting back while I'm doing all this. I don't usually do it,
man.
If you'd like more entertainment from our team, check us out. We have another podcast called Tales of Nowhere. It's an epic role-playing adventure where we have 4 characters and 1 amazing DM. That'd be funny if we had 4 DMs and 1 character. Holy shit, that's a podcast. And they go across multiple games and rule sets, tell 1 epic story. It's got a full season you can binge. We're on season 2 right now. It's going great. Spencer's the DM on that. We also have another podcast called Halloween Nation. If you like spooky, scary stories that give you a fright, if you like ghosts, if you like paranormal activities, not the movies, maybe the movies, mostly the paranormal activities themselves, check it out. Music on the podcast is me. I'm Burn7 on SoundCloud. Pun. I think that was it, wasn't it? Was that the whole thing?
Wow,
oh, wait.
It was really impressive.
We want to throw out thanks to
Patreon.
all of our patrons. That's right. Every single one of our patrons. Thank you so much for taking the time to invest in whatever the fuck it is that we're doing. We sincerely appreciate it. And we want to name all of you. We've got, oh God, you know what, Spencer? I'm usually the one that fucks up the names. Go ahead and pronounce this individual for me. I sent it to you on Slack.
Oh, Crow Keener.
Is it Crow? Because I was pretty sure it was Crow.
I honestly don't know.
And I was like,
I think it's the French pronunciation because it's like I guess it could be Croix.
Yeah,
because LaCroix is spelled similarly.
I just don't want to fuck up your name because you're fantastic, and thank you for choosing to join one of our tiers.
Yeah, let us know. Let us know if we screwed it up.
Yeah. Also, CJ Collins, Jeffrey Grimm, Alita Gilbert, Artex, First Ran Out of Gas, Dan, Felix Rodriguez, Axel, and finally, last but absolutely not least, Spencer Viewers. Thank you so much for spending your time and also investing in whatever this is. And now I think it's fun time. Just, I love that side because you're like settling in for 10 minutes. You're like, oh, fuck.
I've got one, but it's really dumb. You know, a lot of our listeners just don't enjoy this podcast and make fun of us for doing it. And I have something to say to them. Why don't you Pikkon somebody your own size?
Yeah. You're right. It wasn't great, but it was a pun.
It wasn't great. I was trying to think of something else that I use Pikkon for, because nobody makes fun of this podcast. The ones that have contacted us have actually enjoyed it, which is nice.
That's true.
But I don't know what else you could shoehorn Pikkon into.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess those listeners that dislike us want to have our head, a pike on our head. That's what I had. Like a head on a pike and then pike on a, but I couldn't even do it. I couldn't even do it now.
A pike on our head.
Yeah, but fuck. Oh God.
What's Hercules' real name?
The Emperor of Mankind.
No. What's his
Anuba?
name?
Anaba? Anabu. Anibu. That's it.
I got nothing with that.
Yeah, that really sucks, huh? That is unhelpful. It's extremely unhelpful. I think we might have to go with pike on somebody your own size. Pike on someone.
Pike on somebody your own size.
That might be the best.
Join us next time for another episode of this Pikonast.
Oh my God, that was so forced. That was like trying to stuff a bed inside of a soda can. Holy shit, Spencer.
That's all I got.
Yeah, I also don't have anything.
Call it?
Yeah, because I can't think of anything Anibu.
Was that supposed to be? What was it supposed to be?
I don't know.